Hello and welcome to ProdEgyIAS platform. And here we are going to start a very important series, that is your mapping, world geography mapping and Indian geography mapping. Because every year UPSC is asking questions based on maps, okay, be it from geography section or they are from geopolitical significance, but every year questions are being asked, okay. So we'll be coming up with such programs, such small courses which can help you out in clearing especially prelims, okay. Afterwards we'll be coming up with mains, GS mains topics as well, okay. So today we'll be covering this North America and South America through maps, right? And along with that, we'll also be covering the PYQs, previous year questions. From the last year, we have seen that there was an abrupt change in this section. Last year, there were about 12 to 13 questions based on mapping, okay, from world geography and Indian geography both. So as you know that for clearing prelims, around 45 to 50 questions are required, right? And if 12 to 15 questions are asked from this section, so you can understand its crucial importance, right? So in every class, we will be covering the political maps in which you will see the state boundaries of a particular country, right? And some significant cities, right? Along with that, there will be physical maps in which such things like mountains, plateaus, plains, peaks, they will be shown to you, right? And along with that, there will be resource maps as well. And resource facts, like a particular plateau is rich in which mineral resource, right? Or there will be maps based on rivers and lakes, means hydrography, right? So means whatever type of questions are asked in UPSC, they will be covered with this series, right? So first we should see that in the last year, what type of questions were asked from this section so that you can understand its significance, right? So let us move to its so these are the maps. We'll be covering all these maps in today's class, right? How many continents are there? 7, right? So in all the continents, like this is the North American continent. So in North America, there will be such physical features. You will recognize them on the maps, on the world maps, right? Like Rockies, Alaska, Coast Ranges, Cascade. Where is Great Basin? What is this, right? So there is a list, means this is the checklist that you will be completing all through these maps. So this is a long PDF and this will be provided to you, okay, after the class. There are maps like this in which all the topography is being shown, right? Such maps, all the relief features are clear to you. And such maps in which all the important cities are shown here. Some of the cities, they are industrial cities, means they are there because of some industries, and those industries are they are based upon some resources which are found in the nearby regions, right? This is the USA political map. All these state boundaries are shown over here. Then this map is their important cities, right? You know that North America and South America both are very important because they have almost all the physical features. Which is the longest range in the world? Longest mountain range? Andes. Yeah, it is Andes. Recently, there was a movie based on Andes mountain. There was a crash, plane crash, Flight 571. And the movie's name, it was nominated for this year's Oscar, Academy Awards. but it didn't win the award. No, it was the Society of the Snow. Society of the Snow. There was an air crash in the heights of Andes. It was nominated in the international film category, but it could not win the award. And such type of informations like North American resources. All the important resources, where are they found? Like Canada is very rich in uranium. You will see that the last year, the nature of questions was very interesting. Means up to now, they were asking such questions like questions based on current affairs, right? But now they are also shifting towards the some conceptual topics. Like this is the map of South America. These are the important regions, physical regions. Gran Chaco, Brazilian highlands. This is Altiplano. What is Altiplano? This is a highland, a plateau in Bolivia. Okay. Then what is Pantanal? What is Chaco? Complete name is Gran Chaco. So such type of informations. And Salar de Uyuni. This is the world's largest salt flat, salt pan. Okay. So where is it? It is in Bolivia. So all the informations will be shown to you. These are the important rivers in Southern America, right? And they will be your South American resources. Like this Altiplano of Bolivian plateau, it has rich tin deposits. Questions are being asked in this manner. So these are the questions asked in 2023. Please. So about 3/4 of the world's cobalt, a metal required for the manufacture of batteries for electronic motor vehicles, is produced by, right? So this question is a type of resource question, in which resource, a particular resource like this cobalt, is being asked regarding. So where is the cobalt's largest resources in the world? You should know. In Africa, and especially in DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, it is very rich in cobalt. And along with that, there is also a very special resource called tan. Not only cobalt, along with that, coltan. So cobalt and coltan both have significance in modern electrical devices like your cell phones, your laptops, your electrical vehicles. So this is very important, cobalt. So this Congo is rich in cobalt and coltan. So UPSC is asking not a very tough question. This is a very general question. You know that all the conflicts which are there in Democratic Republic of Congo, conflicts between the government and the different gangs which are operating over there. This is called the resource curse. If any region is very rich in resources, there might be some problems in the government stability. And because of that instability, means if government is not stable enough, other gangs, other groups, they will arise and they will compete for those resources. Even sometimes even the government becomes such nature that it wants to reap on those resources in a corrupt manner. Okay, so this is the situation over there in most of the countries of Africa, not only in Democratic Republic of Congo, those nearby regions of Sudan, Somalia, Central African Republic. Okay, so all these countries, they are very rich in resources, and because of that, because there is a problem of government stability, so that becomes a problem of conflicts between the groups for the occupation of those resources, right? So such questions were asked, like this question from the Indian resource. India despite having uranium deposits, depends on coal for most of its electricity production. You know it, that this statement is correct. Uranium enriched to the extent of at least 60% is required for the production of electricity. It is not that, right? 1 second. So this uranium enriched to the extent of 60%. No, 4 to 5% of enrichment is needed. Okay, yeah, uranium enriched to around 3 to 5% is required for the production of electricity, not more than that, right? So statement 1 is correct and 2 is not correct, right? So such questions. This question is based on the Indian drainage, Indian rivers, right? Jhelum River passes through Uller Lake. We have done this in Indian geography. Krishna River directly feeds Koleru Lake. No. Meandering of Gandak River forms Kanwar Lake. This is a factual question. We will be covering this. And this is the map. Like this is the course of Jhelum, and this Uller Lake is in its course, right? Then this question is based on the ports. You know that there are 12 to 13 major ports in India and many minor ports. So those ports are also important. Some of the ports are in private sector, like this Mundra port, Kamrajar port. They are in private sector. So we have to locate them. Where are they? One more question from Congo Basin. Which of the following is a part of Congo Basin? Congo Basin means the river Congo river basin area. In climatology, we have studied about the Congo Basin, Amazon Basin, and Indonesia, where your equatorial rainforest have been found. Okay, so this is the region of equatorial rainforest, and the river which flows over here is Congo. So its basin means from where it collects its waters. Means not only the Congo River, but its tributaries also will make the whole basin, right? So this will be Cameroon. When you will see the map, the political map and physical map, this will be clear to you, right? So like this is the map of, this is your Democratic Republic of Congo. This is the boundary. This is the Congo River, right? This is Ubangi River. This is the tributary of Congo River, Ubangi. And this country, which is Central African Republic, this is placed in Ubangi Plateau. The plateau is also known by this river, Ubangi River. So this country, right? Cameroon, Equatorial Guinea, and Gabon, even Angola, means this part of Angola. Angola is a big country. This is also part of Angola. All these will make the basin of Congo. Okay, so you have to see them in congruence. Means these political boundaries and the physical features. You have to overlap them, right? Like this question, Amarkantak Hills at the confluence of Vindhya and Sahyadri ranges. Biligiri Ringan Hills, BR Hills constitute the easternmost part of Satpura. It has nothing to do with Satpura, BR Hills. Satpura ranges, Rajpipla, Gavilgarh, Mahadev and Maikal. There are 4 ranges which make up the Satpura range. Okay. So this will be incorrect. Sesachalam Hills, constitute the southernmost part of Western Ghats. No, they are in Eastern Ghats. This is also a very important tiger reserve, Sesachalam Hills, tiger reserve, right? So the question is like that. None of the statement is right. So this question you can call that it was somewhat tough, right? Then this question is from the corridors, your national highway projects. Okay, so trilateral highway, east-west corridor, Bangladesh, China, India, Myanmar economic corridor. Even this year, questions may be asked from your Char Dham connectivity roads and all that. So you have to see them in these maps. Ilmenite and rutile, abundantly available in certain coastal tracts of India, are rich sources of which one of the following? This is based on the resources found in Indian Ocean, right? Because Indian Ocean is also a rich reserve of resources. So these are the resources found in Indian coastland, nearby Indian coast, right? So you should know that these are the ilmenite and rutile. Both are the ores of titanium, from which titanium is derived, right? We'll be covering this. Now this part, you can say that this also belongs to your geopolitical section. Such questions, every year UPSC asks such questions, such type of questions. That where are the conflict zones of the world? You know that barring only North America and South America, previously even there is a small countries in Caribbean Sea area, Haiti. Haiti has some stripes there. Previously, there was a country smitten with such type of conflicts like Colombia. Now these conflicts are over there, right, in American continents. But still in Europe and in Africa and in Asia, these are the three important continents where you can see all the conflicts zones. Like in Europe, the conflict between Russia and Ukraine, right? Nagorno-Karabakh area, conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan. So such type of conflict zones are found in Europe and in Africa. In Africa, like in Somalian region, like in Ethiopia, like in Sudan, Democratic Republic of Congo, Central African Republic, Nigeria. In Asia, you can say in Pakistan, in Afghanistan, even in Iran, in Palestine, in Syria. So these are the countries. So like this question, North Kivu and Ituri. So you should know that where are they located? These regions, Nagorno-Karabakh. It is not in Mozambique. Nagorno-Karabakh is the conflict zone between Armenia and Azerbaijan, right? Kherson and Zaporozhye. So these are the North Kivu, Congo region, the conflict zone in Congo, Nagorno-Karabakh in Azerbaijan, Kherson in Ukraine, right? One more question, same type of question. Means this year there was a flood of such type of map-based questions. You can say this was a change in trend, and this trend can be repeated this year also, right? So like this, Donbass, this is the region in Ukraine, Donetsk and Donbass, Luhansk. These are the regions in. Then Kachin. Kachin is a state in Myanmar. This is also a conflict zone. Tigray. Tigray, where is it? Tigray. It is in Ethiopia. Tigray in Ethiopia. So they are the maps. Like this, Donetsk or Donbass area, Luhansk, Zaporizhia, this Crimea. Crimea has been occupied by Russia long back. This is the Kachin state. This is a strife zone in Myanmar. And this is Tigray region in Ethiopia. Again, in recent years, Chad, Guinea, Mali, and Sudan caught in the international attention for which one of the following regions? So all these regions have been in news for the regions of coups over there. Because when governments fail, military overpowers them, right? So those armies, they rule on those nations, like in Pakistan. So this is the question based on the borders. Particular countries which are in news, you should know their boundaries, their border nations. Like this has been in news, Ukraine, so you should know that which are the countries surrounding Ukraine. So even this year, these regions are important, right? Because they are continuously in news. So this is Ukraine. This is surrounded by Belarus, Poland, Slovakia, Hungary, Romania, Moldova. This is Black Sea. This is Sea of Azov. And this is Russia. Then question number 13. So you are seeing that 13 questions were asked from this section. Means if you are not strong enough then in this section, you cannot clear the prelims. Honestly, 13 questions here. Around 1/3 of your qualifying questions that you need. Okay. So which one of the following countries has been suffering from decades of civil strife and food shortages and was in news in the recent past? The same type of question. It was Somalia. Right? Because of a devastating drought coupled with the effects of the 3 decades of conflict have been created a catastrophic food crisis over there. So they were the questions from this. You should know the importance of this class, this series, this course. So again, what will be the modality of these classes? That you have to note down the important features, important regions, right? Important resources, important nations. They will not only help you in geography section, they will be important for your political science type question, geopolitics, environment, sometimes even in current affairs type questions. To solve the current affairs question, you should know the locations first. Your locations should be very clear, right? So first of all, write down the heading, North America. And before that, we'll discuss a general background of these mapping classes. Like how many continents are there? What is their expansion? What is the importance of physical maps? So North America and South America will be covering these topics like political, physical, and resource features in these classes. And this is your world political map. First, we should have a glance on the major countries in each and every continent. Like this continent is North America. This is your North America. This is your South America. So in North America, you will see that there are only 3 major countries. One is Canada, second is USA, third is Mexico. Right? This part also belongs to USA. Right? So this and this both are USA. And along with that, there are many islands in this part of Canada. So you have to recognize the particular islands, major islands, like this is the Baffin Island. We will be covering. And in this area, you will see smaller countries. They are called the Middle American countries, Central American countries, like this Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua. They are Caribbean Sea countries like Cuba, Haiti, Puerto Rico, right? And in this section, South America, there are 12 countries, 12 major countries, and one French Guiana is a territory of France, right? So 12 independent nations and one territory of France. Means a territory of France which is in Europe is in South America. Okay, keep it in your mind. Then you have to draw the particular boundaries, like what are the countries which are on the boundary of Brazil, which of the countries are landlocked, like this Bolivia and Paraguay. Only 2 countries in South America which are landlocked, which are not touching any sea or ocean, water body, right? So this is your North America, this is your South America. In every class, first we will have such type of broad glance, then we will be moving on to the topic, right? We'll discuss them later on. So first, what is a physical map in which you can see major landforms like these mountains, plateaus, plains, hydrography like your oceans, freshwater bodies, rivers, lakes, ice shelves. Like in Greenland, Canada, Russia, there are ice shelves and islands of a particular country. And this is your physical map. The earlier map was a political one in which all the boundaries of the countries were drawn. This is a physical map in which you can see the physical features, physical landforms, you can say. Like in North America. So it is not very clear. We'll have much clearer maps. Moving on. This is North America political map. All the countries like this Alaska region of USA, this is USA, this is Canada, and this is Mexico. So first see this political map. It is clear now? So this region, this is known as Alaska, part of USA, right? This is USA, this is Canada, and just south of USA it is Mexico. So the simplest continent is North America, in which you have to see just 3 countries, right? One, USA, Canada, and Mexico. Then you have to see what are the territories of Canada, and what are the main islands of Canada. Like this is very important, big island, Baffin Island. This is Baffin Island. This is Victoria Island. This is Banks Island. And this large island is Ellesmere Island. Not every single island is important. You have to memorize just these 4 islands. Ellesmere Island, this is Ellesmere Island, this is Baffin Island, this is Victoria Island, and this is Banks Island. They can be asked in such a manner, like in matching type of questions. Here they will be giving you the islands, and here countries, match them, right? So they belong to Canada. Then what are the seas which are surrounding this North American continent? Starting from here. Here is Arctic Ocean on the northern side of North America. Important oceans are Arctic Ocean, here North Pacific Ocean, and here North Atlantic Ocean. Means North America is surrounded by 3 oceans. On the north, it is Arctic Ocean. On the west, it is North Pacific. On the east, it is North Atlantic, right? Then important seas. Beaufort Sea. This is Baffin Bay, because this is Baffin Island. This bay or Gulf is a small section of water body just attached to a sea, right? So this is Baffin Bay. This is Labrador Sea, right? And this is Gulf of Alaska. So in the same latitude, you will see that this is Gulf of Alaska, and here this is Labrador Sea. Then some important islands in Alaska region are Aleutian Islands. These islands, Aleutian Island, and one Bering Sea, and this is the Bering Strait. Bering Strait. Strait is a small channel which divides two large land masses. Okay, this is a narrow zone of water. So this is known as Bering Strait, and just below than that is a Bering Sea, and just south of that is the Aleutian Islands. So Bering Strait is the channel which separates Russia. You can say that the Asian part from the American continent, right? Here, this is a large island, Greenland, under the occupation of Denmark, which is a European nation, right? That is why it is shown in European side. Then come to the this important island, Vancouver Island, belonging to Canada. right? Newfoundland Island belonging to Canada. And this important bay, Hudson Bay. This is Hudson Bay belonging to Canada. So in each and every map, we'll be locating such type of things. Better कि आप इसको एक list out कर लो. These things which are being highlighted here, like these islands, because later on you will forget them. So just note down islands of Canada: Baffin, Ellesmere, Victoria, and Banks. Important seas north of Canada: Beaufort Sea, here Labrador Sea, here Bering Sea. Yeah, this is part of means USA. Means there are important features that you have to locate on map. North America, right? So Bering Sea. Then these islands, Aleutian Islands, they are part of Alaska. Then important gulfs, this Gulf of Alaska. This is Hudson Bay, and this is Baffin Bay. They are important bays or gulfs. Two more important islands in Canada: Vancouver Island, this one, and Newfoundland Island, this one. Vancouver and Newfoundland, right? And major oceans are Arctic Oceans, North Pacific, and North Atlantic, right? So we'll move on to next map. Yeah, one by one we'll see. They are all the maps of all the continents, right? To have a broad glance, like this one North America, this is South America. We'll discuss them separately, okay? In different classes, right? This is Europe, this is Africa, this is Asia, then this is Australia, right? This is Antarctica. So all the 7 continents are there. So in North America, there will be major physical features. Note down them. We'll see them on the map of North America. Rocky, Alaska, Coast, Cascade, Sierra Nevada, they are the mountain ranges. Brooks Range, Great Plains, Canadian Shield, Labrador, Sierra Madre, this is also a range, a mountain range. Central Lowland, this is a basin area. Great Basin, though it is named as basin, but it is like a plateau, like a highland. Okay. Colorado Plateau, Appalachian Mountains, and Yucatan Peninsula. Yucatan Peninsula is in the Central American, Middle American region, right? Then South America physical, this is the whole list that we'll be covering in other classes, right? In the coming days. So this is the North America, whole North America physical map. It is very fuzzy. You cannot locate physical features on such a map. So for more clearer view, and this is the same political map. This is the list that we'll be covering. On this map, this will be much clearer, right? Like starting from here, this we have completed Baffin Island. This is Victoria Island. This is Ellesmere Island, right? Important seas: Beaufort Sea, Labrador Sea. Yeah, this is Bering Sea. This is Bering Strait, right? Then this is Gulf of Mexico. This is Gulf of California. And this is Hudson Bay. Okay, they are all large hydro features, you can say. Along with that, there are some lakes, important lakes, especially in Canada and USA. These lakes are in a series. Here, this is Great Bear Lake. This lake is Great Bear Lake. Great Bear Lake. Then this is Great Slave Lake. This is Lake Athabasca. This is Reindeer, and this is Winnipeg. So this is a series of lakes. Great Bear, Great Slave, Athabasca, Reindeer, and Winnipeg from north to south along this axis of Canada. And they are all glacial lakes. Lakes. Last one is Lake Winnipeg. You should locate them on your atlas, on your maps. You should have atlas while studying geography mapping classes. And this whole area, this area, from here to here, this is known as north of that. Means north of that, those lakes, along with them, this is the Great Lakes region, which is common to both Canada and USA. Great Lakes, Great Five Lakes: Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, Lake Erie, and Lake Ontario. So north of that, north of these lakes, this land is called Canadian Shield. North of these lake region, this land is known as Canadian Shield. What is a shield? Shield are those regions which have been very intact and stable, right? Intact and stable throughout the Earth's geological history, and which are very rich in metallic minerals. All these shield areas of not only in Canada, even in India there are shield areas. So those shield areas are rich in metallic minerals. So this region of Canada is rich in gold, copper, uranium, and all the metallic minerals, right? You can see here that the northern part of Canada is cut through this Arctic Circle. This is the Arctic Circle, which is cutting through this Baffin Island, this northern part of Canada, then Alaska, then over to Russia. So this part is cut through Arctic Circle. Questions are asked in this manner. This is a small gulf known as Gulf of St. Lawrence. There is a river which falls in this gulf. The river's name is St. Lawrence. And by the same name, the gulf is known as Gulf of St. Lawrence. This is the Gulf of St. Lawrence. This is an important river of Canada, right? So Canada has these islands, these bays, these important lakes and gulfs like Hudson Bay, like Gulf of St. Lawrence. Then move on to southern part, that is your USA, right? In USA, northern part, there are Great Five Lakes, which are common to both USA and Canada. Single lake which is completely in USA is Lake Michigan. You can see here all the other lakes, Lake Superior, Huron, Erie, and Ontario, they are common to both Canada and USA. Only Lake Michigan is completely within the land of USA, right? So this may be important. Then on the western part, there is a cordillera of mountains. This is called Rocky Mountains. This is expanded right from northern part of Canada through USA. Here it is nearer to the coast. In Canadian part, Rockies are nearer to the coast. Here they are far away from the coast, right? There is one more mountain chain that is called Coast Mountains. This one. It is called Coast Mountain because it is along the coast and it is majorly in the Canadian part. Likewise, here along the coast there is a mountain range named as Cascades. This is Coast Range, this is Cascade Range. Then this range is Sierra Nevada, right? Sierra Nevada. So they are all important. Then this peninsula, this long peninsula is known as Baja California. Baja California lies in Mexico, not in USA. Though California is a part of USA. Just north of that is the land of California. That is part of USA. But Baja California is a peninsula which is part of Mexico, right? So they are intricate parts from where questions may be asked. Baja California is part of Mexico, right? Then this was the western seaboard. On your eastern seaboard, there is a chain of mountains, Appalachians, right? They are very rugged mountains. They are very old, right? Then this is the central lowland. This part is called central lowland. Just south of the lake region is the central lowlands. And this middle part, starting from here to here, means the land just east of Rockies is known as the Great Plains, starting from Canada down to USA. So this is the Great Plains area. This part means these lakes of Canadian region, Great Bear, Great Slave, Athabasca, they are all in the Great Plains, right? Means this middle part of the North American continent is known as Great Plains. This is Central Lowlands. This is Great Lakes region. This is Canadian Shield region. This is Rockies. This is Coast. This is Cascades. This is Sierra Nevada. Then Baja California. Then in Mexico, this mountain chain is known as Sierra Madre. And this is also Sierra Madre. Means Mexico is located on a plateau surrounded by two ranges. Sierra Madre Occidental and Sierra Madre Oriental. Means both are named as Sierra Madre. One is eastern, one is western. So eastern is known as Sierra Madre Oriental, western is known as Sierra Madre Occidental. And in the middle of that is the land of Mexico. So Mexico is an intermontane plateau surrounded by two mountain ranges. Intermontane plateau. Right? So they are the major broad features of North American continent. In this map, you can see the relief features, means ups and downs of North American continent. Yeah, one more range in Alaska part is Brooks Range. This is Brooks Range. This is Alaska Range. This is the land of Alaska, part of USA. So it's in its northern part is Brooks Range, its southern part is Alaska Range. Okay, this is your Rockies. This is Coast Range. This is Cascades. This is Sierra Nevada, and here are Sierra Madre. Here are Sierra Madre. They are the mountains of Ouachita. They are not so important. Adirondacks. They are somewhat important. Then Appalachians. Right? This is Hudson Bay. This is Labrador Sea. North Pacific, North Atlantic. This is Gulf of Mexico. And this is Gulf of California. Right? Then one by one, we can see such maps like this is the Canada political map. In which you will see the different territories of Canada. You can say the states of Canada. Some of the important territories which you should have in your mind, that is Northwest Territory, this territory, Northwest Territory, Then this is British Columbia. This part is British Columbia. Then this part is Manitoba. In important territories. This is Ontario state. This is Quebec, and this is Newfoundland. So make a list of these territories that they belong to Canada. Northwest Territories, British Columbia, Manitoba, Ontario, Quebec, Newfoundland. What is the capital of Canada? Located. It is Ottawa. Ottawa is here. Ottawa. And other important cities that you should locate in Canada is like this: Halifax in Nova Scotia Island, Halifax, Quebec on the bank of St. Lawrence River, Montreal on the bank of St. Lawrence River, Toronto, this one. So they are important cities. You should locate them or highlight them in your atlas. Important for their administrative purpose or their industrial purpose, right? Here, one more important city is Regina. One important city on the western part is Vancouver. This is Yellowknife, important city. Right? So, not more than, I think, 5 to 6 cities are there, which are important. This Halifax, Quebec, Montreal, Ottawa is the capital. Then Toronto, Regina, Yellowknife, here, Vancouver. So, they are important cities of Canada. This is a complete map of Canada in which you can see all the physical features, again, and important cities as well, right? All the physical features. Actually, I am repeating those things because in a means all things, if you'll see them on a single map, you'll get confused. Okay, so by and by they will be overlapping on your mind. Then you will be recollecting them. So yes, like in Canada, you'll see that this is the Canadian shield part, right? They are the same lakes: Great Bear, Great Slave, Athabasca, Lake Winnipeg, Saskatchewan River. This is a river, and they are the Baffin Island, Victoria Island, Banks Island. This is Ellesmere Island, right? Then important territories that we were discussing: Northwest Territory, Alberta, Manitoba. This is British Columbia. This is Ontario, Quebec. Here Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. Important cities which are in bold, like Edmonton, Yellowknife, Regina, Winnipeg. Here Vancouver, Victoria as well. Right? Important mountains like this Rocky, this coast. Here, this is the Nelson River. Here, this is St. Lawrence River. This is Ottawa River, on the bank of which is Ottawa city. Right? So, ये hang हो गया क्या? Water is not there. Right? So sometimes you'll get bored to see those maps again and again, but they are very important. Okay. और हाँ ये तो हो गया, ठीक है. Right? And this plateau is also known as Laurentian plateau. This part, they are Laurentian mountains, and this part is also known as Laurentian plateau. This part only. This part is also known as Laurentian plateau, right? So this whole part is shield, and only this part is Laurentian plateau. Then come to USA political map. In USA political map, you will see such 50 states are there. There are 48 states. One state is Alaska, and one more Hawaii. So all these add up to 50. So you cannot memorize all the 50 names, and you don't need it. Huh? It is 52. No, it is 50. 48 plus 2. It is 50. Okay. And this is District of Columbia. There is Washington. That is why it is known as Washington, D.C., the capital. Washington, D.C. This is District of Columbia, and this is the Washington city. It is known as Washington, D.C., the capital of USA. Right? So you can see them. Some important territories here you'll have to locate, like this Massachusetts, New York, Pennsylvania, especially on the eastern and western seaboard. They are important nations, okay, because they are important territories, because these territories were the first to colonize. Okay, then when Europeans came, they first colonized this eastern seaboard. Okay, that is why this is the industrial belt, old industrial belt of USA. That is why their capital is located on the eastern part. And all the important cities, you know that New York. New York is also here. And some of the important cities are on the western seaboard, like Los Angeles. It is on the western part. Some of the important cities are on the southern part in this region, like New Orleans, Texas, in Florida, Miami, right? So important territories like Massachusetts and this Rhode Island as well. Rhode Island. Yeah. New Jersey, Virginia, then Florida, then Texas. All the territories which are associated with these lake regions, they are also important, like Wisconsin, Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio. Then here on the western seaboard, Washington is here, and Washington DC is here. Washington DC is on the eastern part, Washington state is on the western part. Then Oregon, then California, right? Then they are the states which are making the boundary between the USA and Mexico. California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. They are all the 4 states. They are important, which are making the boundary between. So California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas on the boundary of Mexico, right? Then this is the Bahamas Island. This is Cuba, the nation of Cuba, right? This is Florida Strait. This is Gulf of Mexico.
Cuba and Bahamas are in USA.
Cuba and Bahamas, they are Caribbean sea nations that you call West Indies. They are part of North America, but they are island nations. They are found in the Caribbean Sea area, right? This is the Caribbean Sea. And this is a political map showing the important states and important cities. Some of the important cities that you have to locate in USA, they might be 10 to 15 important cities that you have to locate on your map. You should know that they are in USA, right? First year on the Eastern Seaboard. It is Boston, New York. You have to locate them on your map. Boston, New York, then Washington DC, then Buffalo, Detroit. You know, this is the automobile capital, you can say. Detroit. Chicago, important city on the bank of Lake Michigan. Lake Michigan. Chicago. They are all important. You have to locate them. Miami. New Orleans. This is the city most devastated by hurricanes. New Orleans. Every year you will hear the news that this city has been devastated by hurricanes. Hurricane Katrina. Then Houston. The city is here. I am just writing its name over here. Okay, city is here. This city is here, New Orleans. Right? Then tell me more names of important cities. Mississippi. Yeah, but it is more important regarding river. Colorado. Colorado is a plateau. Okay, it is a region and also a plateau. We'll see them on physical map of USA. Yeah, one more important city is Salt Lake City, along the bank of Great Salt Lake. This is Great Salt Lake. Like those important lakes in Canada, here are also some of the important lakes, like those 5 lakes and this Great Salt Lake. On the bank of Great Salt Lake is the Salt Lake City, this city. Right? Then one more important city in Nevada state is Las Vegas. Las Vegas. Right? Then yes, here Seattle, important city of Washington state. Seattle. Important for aircraft industries. San Francisco, you know that this is the coastal city, San Francisco. Silicon Valley. All the major telecom companies are there. San Francisco. Then, oh, Los Angeles. That is Los Angeles. That is Los Angeles. LA. I think Silicon Valley is known as LA. Where is Silicon Valley? In San Francisco or in LA? Los Angeles. It is in Los Angeles. Means major companies which have their headquarters, telecom companies which have their headquarters is in LA, Los Angeles. Okay. San Francisco is also important, but for some industrial regions and for some because it is also a port city, right? So they are important cities. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 means around 12 to 13 cities are there. that you have to locate them. Okay. In Alaska, one important city is Anchorage, in Alaska state, and in Hawaii, two important cities. One is Honolulu and another is Hilo. Honolulu and Hilo. Yeah, the whole California is Silicon Valley actually, but most of the companies' headquarters are in LA, in Los Angeles. Okay, this whole western seaboard is known as Silicon Valley. This is the California state, and two more important cities are there. One is LA, Los Angeles, and another is San Francisco. Okay, but most of the headquarters are in LA region, right? So I think you have noted down them. Actually, in your atlas, you see all the 50, 60 cities, and you cannot memorize all of them, and that doesn't needed. Okay, that is not needed also. So you have to focus on these 12 to 15 cities only, which are important. Then this is again a map having both physical and political features, like important cities and important physical parts. So you have to revise it again. Like here, Boston, important city. New York City, Philadelphia is also important city. Then Washington DC is capital. Okay. Then this is Miami. This is New Orleans. This is Houston. Again here, this is Cleveland, Detroit, Chicago. Milwaukee is also important city. Here, Seattle, San Francisco, Los Angeles. Here, Las Vegas. Grand Canyon is also important feature. Death Valley also. Okay, we'll be coming to them. Like these are the important cities. Then again, we'll see these features like Appalachians, mountains, Niagara Falls, important. There are 5 lakes: Lake Superior, Lake Michigan, Lake Huron, Lake Erie, and Lake Ontario. Between these 2 lakes, there is a fall known as Niagara Fall. Niagara Fall lies in Canada or USA? Canada. You can say both, on the border of that. But actually there is a rule that एक जैसे फॉल इधर से इधर गिर रहा है, तो फॉल जिधर से गिरता है उस कंट्री का होता है. ओके, तो वो क्योंकि गिरता है कनाडा के साइड से, दैट इज वाई वो कनाडा को बिलोंग करता है. ठीक है. Then this is the coastal plain area. All this plain is coastal plain area, right? Coastal plain area. This middle part is Great Plains. This is central lowland area. This part is. Then this is Rockies. I think it is now more clear. Then this is the Salt Lake City. Great Salt Lake के बैंक में. Then this is Death Valley region. This belongs to Colorado River. Death Valley and Grand Canyon both on the course of Colorado River. You can see them on your map, right? Death Valley and Grand Canyon. One more thing, that is your Yellowstone National Park. You can also locate this. Yellowstone National Park, very important national park there.
Introducing the Prelims Target course and Prelims Test Series at ProdEgyIAS. Designed for UPSC Prelims 2026, this comprehensive program offers in-depth classes on history, geography, science and tech, environment, polity and governance, and economy. Stay updated with current affairs and sharpen your skills with our prelims test series consisting of 50 full-length tests covering all subjects along with CSAT. Join ProdEgyIAS and stay ahead.